Wait a minute. New Gods is in development? With Ava DuVernay directing and Tom King writing the story and Kathy Bates being cast as Granny Goodness? What? Take my money now. Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? Then smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. Wow, and welcome to Monday's edition of the DCEU Daily. That's right, the cultured nerd have got another out there kind of rumour. Who knows if it's tinfoil or if they've actually got sources. Who am I to say they have or they haven't? So, Ava DuVernay and Tom King's New Gods is in development, and apparently they will be at DC Fandom, and they're looking to cast the legendary, iconic Kathy Bates as Granny Goodness. Now, for me, I can't think of better casting for Granny Goodness, can you? I can't. I mean, the woman's an icon. She's one of the greatest actors out there. Misery, the American Horror Story series, the anthology, it's been absolutely fantastic, and she's played a big part in that as well. You name it, she's done it. Dolores Claiborne, what a performance by her. What a movie that is as well. As I say, one of the best artistic performers in globally in the world. And so if this is what Ava DuVernay and Tom King are looking at when they're developing New Gods, I'm very excited. Now, New Gods is a very, very amazing graphic novel. It's iconic. Now, you know me. I've been very, very dubious about Ava DuVernay being involved in this because she's a social justice warrior, and she wants to make certain commentary and representations in her films, which for me, I kind of worry sometimes because that takes away from the entertainment. Now, New Gods is a specific story about specific characters. They're about the New Gods. You've even got Darkseid in that story. So Darkseid would have to be in this movie. There's no taking away from it. No Darkseid, no party. And then you have to ask, is this within the DCEU or is this in one of the universes within this multiverse strategy? I don't know. I don't think this is going to be part of the DCEU. I don't think this is going to be part of the Snyderverse or the Shazamverse or Man of Steel or even Birds of Prey. I think it's going to be in another universe. So that will be extremely interesting. So, yeah, my concerns over Ava DuVernay have always been that she's an activist. Now, there's a lot of great directors out there who have made great movies while, putting their activism commentary in it. We got Oliver Stone's Platoon, JFK, born on the 4th of July. That man's a genius, but he's an activist. But what he was talking about was very, very important. I don't want to see a New Gods movie where we're being told that all white men in their 40s are toxic and that men shouldn't hold doors open for women. I don't think anyone wants to see a New Gods movie like that. But anyway, it looks like it's going to happen. So for me, it's an exciting project, and I just hope that Ava can pull this off because she's not had a blockbuster before. She's done stuff on Netflix, she's done this and that, but she's never done anything this big. But to be fair, neither did Patty Jenkins before she did Wonder Woman, and she did an excellent job. Of course, she was supported very well by Zack Snyder and other people on the production, but she made an amazing film. So you don't need experience to be able to make a great comic book superhero blockbuster movie adaptation. So I'm going to start having a bit of faith with Ava and just hope she can pull this off, because when I hear she's thinking about Kathy Bates, and of course this is just a rumour, take it with a grain of salt if you're American and a pinch of salt if you're British, and throw it over your shoulder, right? So for me, Kathy Bates, Granny Goodness is an amazing character within DC Comics. She really is. I think I put her up there with Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad. I think Amanda Waller is a great character, and I think that Ava DuVernay understands how big and how vital and how important Granny Goodness is. And I think I always say And I think Richard Donner said it as well. If you cast a big name as a character, they're playing the big name rather than the iconic character. But I think it's different in terms of Kathy Bates, because Kathy is such a great performer. She can play any entity. This is what acting's about. And she can do something incredibly special. I mean, how old is Kathy now? I don't know. Mid-70s. But it doesn't really matter because she's playing someone with Granny in her name. But Granny Goodness is iconic. She's in charge of the Furies, who are women. It's, listen, you won't find a better Granny Goodness than Kathy Bates. So if this is the direction they're heading in, I'm changing my mind. All the doubts about Ava DuVernay helming New Gods absolutely leave my side and leave my mind. Because all of a sudden, I'm starting to get excited. And let's not forget Tom King is a prolific comic book writer as well, especially with Batman. So I think maybe I can say this, that I was wrong. And Ava deserves a chance to make this movie and execute this movie. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And I've said this to you before. But if she does turn up with Tom King and with Kathy Bates for a New Gods panel at DC Fandom, then I'll be incredibly supportive and incredibly happy, because I think this is a project everyone wants to see happen, no matter who's doing it. We just want it to be great. We want to move away from what was going on with DC films in the past with the old regime. We want the directors and the writer, we want the director and the writer and the people helming the movie to have that artistic freedom to make what they want to make. Now, you don't have to copy and paste New Gods or a Superman film or anything, but it has to have the heart. It has to have that personality that is kind of in the comic. So you don't have to copy and paste anything, but you have to feel you're watching that comic book character. Now, you can make some changes, that's fine, but it still has to have that persona that people have looked up to, been excited by all their lives, and that is important, and you must always put these characters first. And I think this is the mistake that Rian Johnson made with The Last Jedi. Didn't care about Star Wars. He literally kept on saying, let's leave the past behind. But that's fine if you want to integrate a new generation. But the reason everyone's here is Luke and Leia. The reason everybody's here is Darkseid and Granny Goodness. And that's important that you do those characters properly. What's my opinion if it is in another universe and it's not part of the DCEU? I'm not bothered, to be honest with you. It's obvious we're not going to get the connectivity of the MCU. I think the kind of connectivity we're going to get is putting these universes together and getting them to meet once they've developed them. So it's a very different way of doing things. And I think it's very exciting, including what they're doing with Flashpoint as well, and Michael Keaton reprising his role as the 89 and 92 Batman. That is awesome as well. And ultimately, we can see characters like Barry Allen meeting Michael Keaton's Batman, which is going to happen in Flashpoint. Already is extremely exciting. Now, don't forget, Ezra Miller's Flash has already met Grant Gustin's The Flash as well. That was epic. So just imagine people meeting iconic versions of these characters from different universes within the multiverse. It's incredibly awesome. And so, yes, when someone's thinking of casting Kathy Bates as Granny Goodness, I'm extremely excited. Excited. I say exciting, but when I say excited, why do I do it? Exciting's a word, but it should be excited in a certain sentence. Anyway, right, so Granny Goodness, rumoured to be played by Kathy Bates in Ava DuVernay's New Gods, and Tom King co-writing with her, which is extremely important. As well, of course, Tom King and Ava DuVernay are very good friends, so they'll be working really hard together to make sure that each of them has a voice in this movie, and that's vital, of course. So the DCEU Snyder fans, my fellow DCEU Snyder fans, are arguing about what Zack Snyder's Justice League should be called. So apparently now it should be called Zack Snyder's JL or ZS's JO. I don't know what they're boring on about now. Listen to me. It's already done. Zack Snyder is happy. What's on that poster is what Zack wanted. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a dramatic title. And it says the thing that we all wanted from the beginning, that it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, putting ZS, JL, or whatever you want to put on there, I don't know what drugs you're all on. I don't know what motivates you to wake up in the morning. But at the end of the day, this is nonsense. This isn't a real debate. And I know who's doing this. It's the elitists. Their motivations are not my motivations. We fought for Zach to get this movie. His name's on the movie. There's nothing else to debate. There's nothing else to think about. Could you please stop boring me? Anyway, I have a very busy day ahead of me today. If anything breaks, I'll be back later. So comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe, because I've got family coming over, so I'm going to try and put these videos out. So bear with me. So comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.